Welcome to the third installment of Bland Blog, the diet about my bland blog. No, this is the third installment of the blog about my bland diet. Say that 3 times fast. I think I just did, and I didn't do it right any of the times. Nonetheless, I have been on the diet for over 4 weeks now. And that has been interesting. Now, if you're wondering what a bland diet is, please check out the first installment of this series, which I have put a link in the description. So, we are, like I said, at week 4, and that means that I am in phase 2. So, phase 2, good, everything's working. This is actually my 3rd attempt to do this live stream in the last hour, so I'm very glad that everything's actually working this time. Anyway, like I was saying, we are up to phase 2. Now, if you remember correctly, I had a plan. Phase 1 was to do the bland diet and keep taking my medicine. I am on a prescription for 40 milligrams a day of omeprazole. Omeprazole, I think I'm saying that right. Omeprazole is the same thing as Prilosec or Prevacid. It's an acid blocker, or an acid inhibitor, I think they call it. But yeah, I've been on it for years. Even before this prescription, I was on a lower dosage and even taking the over-counter version of Prilosec for years before that. So I've been taking this medicine for a long time. Phase 2 means that I stay on the bland diet, but I go off of the medicine. And that has been going just about as well as you might expect. And I kind of feel like this is a case where my body has been conditioned to be on these acid blockers for years now. And I've kind of trained my body to have to work harder to produce stomach acid. And now I've taken away all those restrictions and the acid is just flowing like a river. And so my first day off of the medicine was extremely unpleasant. And I've been avoiding taking things like Pepcid AC or even Zantac or, your store brand equivalents because I'm trying to manage my reflux with diet alone. Now, I have been allowing myself Pepto-Bismol. Well, this is actually called Soothe from CVS. I remember getting something from a drugstore that was labeled just like Pepto-Bismol, and they called it Pink Bismuth. I always thought that was kind of fun. Nonetheless, whatever your version is, that's what it is. I have been taking this because this is not an acid inhibitor. I don't know what the hell it is. It's pink, and it's in a bottle, and you leave it in your medicine cabinet for weeks at a time, unrefrigerated, and somehow it doesn't kill you when you drink it. So, yeah. Should I be concerned about that? Maybe, but I've got bigger fish to bake in a method that doesn't saturate it with grease and oil because I'm on a bland diet. So anyway, week 2 means no medicine. Now, last week, I did cheat a little bit. I had some pancakes, and I tried to use a small amount of butter and syrup, but they're still fried, and they gave me such bad heartburn. So, pancakes are off the list, and I kind of figured that, but they're bready, and there's not a lot to them. I thought maybe, but no. So, yeah, that was a regrettable mistake, and then I stopped taking my medicine, and so we're up to 3 days. Now, the light at the end of the tunnel is that every day has gotten a little bit easier. I am getting less reflux now than I did yesterday, and I'm getting far less than I did the day before. So my goal is to retrain my body to function in a normal way so that I don't need Prilosec or Prevacid, and if I happen to have a bout of acid, then maybe I can just take a Pepsid AC at the time and let it do what it's supposed to do, but not need to be taking 40 milligrams of Prilosec, Prevacid, omeprazole every morning, and then additionally adding Pepsid AC or equivalent, and then maybe even taking some pink whatever on top of that to try and put out the fire. And that's where I was. That is how bad my stomach has been, and probably a testament to how bad my diet has been. So, I'm just trying to take some ownership of my situation. Phase 3 will be once, assuming that I can get to a point where I'm managing my reflux with diet alone, and I no longer need to take anything because I'm not getting heartburn. Then phase 3 will be to reintroduce normal food and start slowly and subtly putting in some things that maybe aren't spicy and overtly bad for me, but perhaps every now and then I could have a slice of pizza. That would be really nice. I miss pizza. I miss cheeseburgers. I really miss cheeseburgers. I want a cheeseburger, and I can't have a cheeseburger right now. Now, if phase 2 turns out to be unsuccessful, if I am unable to manage this reflux with diet alone, then I go see my doctor, and I talk to her, and I find out what my options are. Likewise, if phase 3 doesn't seem to be working, where any time I stray anything away from bland, it's not working, then once again I go talk to my doctor and I see what my options are. But I feel like at this point I'm doing the things that I know that I'm supposed to be doing, and when I do see the doctor, it won't be an embarrassing conversation like hey, I've got this terrible acid reflux, and she says, oh, well, what's your diet? And it's like, oh, pizza and cheeseburgers and more pizza, and then cheeseburger pizza with a pizza on top of that, and then a cheeseburger for dessert. I do eat other things. I also eat spaghetti with marinara sauce and French fries and milkshakes and cookies and cake, and oh gosh, I really miss eating normal food, and I don't think I'm ever going to be back to the diet that I had. That is gone. But I would like to be allowed a moderate amount of some of these things that I really enjoy. So that's the goal. Yeah, this is not a long update. As you can see in the background, there's no more MAME cabinet behind me. The MAME cabinet's done. It is upstairs. It's been being played with. And now I'm in the middle of another project because my truck is not working. Well, actually it was working, but it wasn't working well. I need to replace the lower control arm, and I've known it for a while. And I've been putting it off because I had a suspicion that it would be awful. And you know what? It's been awful. I've been working on it for 3 days. It's been raining outside, and there's just not enough room in this garage to be able to do that kind of work around a wheel well. I can pull it in and work on the engine, but getting beside the truck is really, really, really tight. So that's something to look forward to whenever I get around to editing it down, and I haven't even finished the project yet, so we're not even to the editing phase. So that's it. I will continue these updates for as long as they're relevant. If there's if it gets to the point where there's nothing new to report, then maybe I'll put a cork in it and start something else. But if you are a person that has acid reflux and GERD, what a great name for a disease. That's gastroesophageal reflux disease, I think that's what it stands for. But if you have an acid stomach and you get chronic heartburn, you have reflux, and you're trying to find information, and you're discovering, as I did, that the amount of relevant information on the internet about this stuff is actually relatively small, then I'm hoping that these blogs will be helpful to you. And if you have any questions about my experiences, or any comments, things that you think that maybe I should have done a different way, or something that you've done differently, then please feel free to comment on the video. I'm hoping that this will be a resource that's helpful for people. So that's it. Until then, let's have some fun, just not too much around mealtime, because all right, I'll probably see you next week.